what we're seeing now is an incredible desire on the part of brands to reach people and to give them something to manipulate. And then you get these platforms like Roblox, where Roblox, the company, makes no content. Everything on that content is created by users. They may be professional studios, and I'd say 95% of the revenue on Roblox is professional studios, but I'd say more than half the games are not made by professional studios. So, they're coming up, and you see young teen, 20-year-old people making Roblox games that actually make it all the time. So we're going to talk about that. We went through a phase where people thought user-generated content would be Web3, and we'd all create NFTs and sell them. That kind of died, but the concept's still alive. And again, folks like Cody and Aida are exploiting the opportunity. So Cody, tell us who you are, what you do, and why Overwolf is the solution for up-and-coming GTA creators.
Yeah, I'm Cody Bai. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships for Overwolf. And Overwolf is essentially the world's leading in-game UGC platform. We have 178,000 creators on our platform, and last year we distributed around $300 million to creators. And when I say UGC platform, I'm talking about mods, which is essentially what Roblox is doing in a lot of ways. All of that content is a mod, is a modification of their original game. This is also apps, desktop apps, companion apps where you're playing a game and maybe you're in a competitive League of Legends game and you want to know what maybe you're just learning it and you need to know what that other champion that you're playing against does. Our companion apps do that sort of thing. So that's another form of UGC content. And then private servers. That's the other side of the thing that we do, where you look at, we might talk about GTA a little bit, but the private servers that are in GTA where, RP servers and 5M is just a huge amount of people that are wanting to customize the way that they play their games. They want to own that sort of experience and really, change the way their game is played into what they want it to be. I mean, you go back decades and you had Game Genie. I don't know if any of you used Game Genie, but that was the, kind of the original sort of modding ecosystem was, hey, I want to have moon jumping. Hey, I want to have infinite lives. That's the sort of stuff that modding is and continues to be today. So that's me.
Aida?
I'm Aida Andersson. I'm head of commercial at Chartis. What we do at Chartis is, and this is going to be a bit of I'm going to go off on a rant here, but at Chartis, you can think of us as a mix between a media company and an investment company. So what we have been doing for the past 3 years is we've invested in creators and their games. So we co-own some of the top games in Fortnite, or actually the top game in Fortnite, and then a bunch of others as well. But that's what we do. That is our main focus. We're creator first. We take these creators, devs, whatever you want to call them, from hobbyists to professionals, and basically help them optimize their games, monetize, and kind of a side effect of all of this also, then this moves into brand integrations. So we facilitate brand integrations for them and help them. We kind of bridge that gap. So last year we did over 60 brand integrations in Fortnite Creative alone. And we're also moving into Roblox. So we're focused on the creators, helping them out and helping them grow basically. So that's what Chartis does.
So I have a couple of anecdotes which reflect my age. The first time I ever experienced a mod in a game, I had this game called Half-Life, and it was 1998 or 9. Mm-hmm. And so my friends and I were playing it, and somebody goes, "Have you seen this new thing, Counter-Strike?" And it was just Half-Life that the community modded into a multiplayer game. And there was no real internet. We had to link our PCs together. But we used to meet together, and I actually ended up with a group in the office at Wedbush, and there were like 6 or 7 of us, and we could be on different floors because we had our own network. But my God, and that was a mod game. My second big experience was I was playing a game called Doom, which was a id game, but PC game. And Doom had this weird mechanic where you had a weapon and you had a flashlight, but you couldn't hold them both at the same time. And everything was dark. So you had your flashlight and you'd see a monster, you have to get your weapon up. And somebody came up with a mod which was tape, Scotch tape. And you could tape your flashlight to your weapon. And it was $5. And oh my God, did I buy it? And everybody did. So it just made the game better. So when I think of mods, again, for me, that made the game a lot better. When I think about, brand integration is huge. I just attended the other breakout on Adidas, inside Roblox games. So brands desperately want to be there. But let's talk about who are the users who are generating content. And if you can, describe the range of users you work with from rank amateur 7-year-old to professional studio who gets hired by Adidas to put them into a Fortnite or Roblox game.
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
All right. So we work with, because Overwolf is very much a community-centric platform, we work with the entire range. There is nobody that's excluded from our platform. Modding in and of itself is something that we really want the community to do. So we kind of foster that for everybody. We have all sorts of documentation and sort of how-to guides and how to get more involved, specifically in like Minecraft, World of Warcraft, how to create these add-ons. And it's incredible to watch the creators who, have spent so much of their time and energy crafting these different worlds, how much they come together to really help each other and figure out the best ways to make really exceptional products for each other and for themselves. So there's really nobody specific that we work with. We kind of work with everybody. But when we do want to do something specific, so in our game, one of the games that we have an official partnership with, Ark Survival Ascended, we actually had a collab between a creator and Hasbro, where we brought in Power Rangers as a premium mod into that Ark Survival Ascended sort of ecosystem, and people could download that mod. We're the only UGC platform aside from Roblox and UEFN that allows for this sort of premium UGC content. And so we got this content creator, we got Hasbro, we worked as the middleman to create this branded sort of opportunity around Power Rangers because there's dinosaurs in Ark, and it's awesome. I would urge you all to go check it out if you're a Power Rangers fan, but it's this incredible experience. So when we work on branded content, absolutely we try to find the best creators because we want to have a premium experience. But in general, the community, we don't limit who works on a platform at all.
Now, in that case, the studio is just getting paid to create the branded experience?
So in this case, it's a deal that's worked out between the studio, the content creator, and then us acting as the middle person and the IP owner. So in this case, the IP owner of Power Rangers certainly was part of that conversation as well.
And then the consumer's buying the Power Rangers mod.
Correct.
Everybody gets paid.
Yep.
So it's a good thing.
It's a win-win for everybody.
That's what
Absolutely.
we like to hear. And then on the individual side, I just want to mod the game because I want my weapon to have a silencer or something.
Yep.
Like, I can do that?
You can do that on your own, for sure. Or you can find it. I mean, it's a lot harder to do it on your own, but probably exists.
I could find it from somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I buy it from somebody else?
Depends. So premium modding is something that only happens with official partnerships that we have with games. So, if a studio wants to extend the lifespan and longevity of their game and have I kind of think of it as a DLC that is not created by the studio itself. That is something where we enter into an official partnership with the developers, with the publisher to make that a reality, for sure.
And Aida, can you give us an example of how you guys got involved with the brand and exactly who paid and who got paid? I mean, how did you create value?
So we worked in various ways. And I can start off by saying just want to say that too, because I'm going to repeat myself, you guys. We're a creator first company.
Yeah.
So we started out working with these anonymous creators, basically, that were doing really, really effing good games, and invested in them and brought them forward. We also work with some of the largest studios out there. They're also creators, but they've managed to grow as a business without us, but also with us now. But I will share what I can, basically. Because we co-own a lot of the games, that also, when we facilitate a brand integration, we're able to, how am I going to say this in a
benefit
politically correct way? Well, we're not as, it's effective, it's cost effective, it's scalable for brands. So we have various ways that we work. We work through agencies, large ones, but also smaller agency partners, and then we work brand direct. What our goal is basically, and here's an interesting thing, you guys, or I think it's interesting. Brands often come to a studio, if you will. It's very difficult for brands to work directly with one independent creator. That usually, not to tap myself on the shoulder, not me personally, but us. Is that you kind of need someone to moderate the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I just lost my trail of thought because I went on this.
How it happens.
How it happens, right. Sorry, you guys. So basically what we try to do is a brand usually comes with a brief to the studio or to the creator if they happen to work directly with it, which almost never happens. What we want to do is we kind of flip that around because we want to, of course, be authentic to the brand, tell their story, make sure that the narrative is on brand. However, what we do is we ask the creators, because we have over 250 creators in our network, and then we have some that we're really, really close with that are actually owners in our company. So we ask them, what would you build? What do you want to build? What trends are you seeing? And then we take that and we adapt it to the brand in question. So we work with a lot of film studios, for example. Recently we brought, if you're familiar with Project Hail Mary to Fortnite, we integrated Project Hail Mary into one of our co-owned games and one game that we're not co-owners of, they're just a part of our network. And you can really see, the fandom that, because there were Project Hail Mary was a book prior to becoming a movie. So you could really see the fandom, people appreciating, getting to live the story on a UGC platform. And then we also did so one of our creators owns and operates some of the largest entertainment pages on Instagram. So we kind of brought that Fortnite story to socials as well and really tied it all together. We work in various ways, but that's sometimes how we do it. We also work with Panda Express. So this might seem, several times we've integrated them into our games. And when they left, when the campaign was over, the players were in Discord asking for Panda Express to come back. Mm-hmm. That's kind of random, right? But it's fun. Like, it's great for the brand. They want them to be there, the players, the users. So you see that value. What's interesting, I think, in this space is how do you measure success? And you can tap into those. We try to take, a traditional media approach to the whole thing, yes, but then also how else are you seeing that type of engagement? What is the ROI? What does it mean when someone spends 51 minutes in a row with your brand? So we try to bring that forward too. Kind of went off topic, but I tend to do that. I hope that's okay.
That's what I wanted.
I've got. So on the other side, when we're talking about the game developers and game studios themselves, I don't want to ignore them in the conversation either. When you're talking about UGC, we've done several case studies looking at sort of introduction of modding and UGC into the game as a developer, because that's first and foremost what you have to do and what you have to kind of include. And we've found that the play sessions, when somebody is playing a modded version of a game versus a non-modded version of a game is around 2x. You know, we found on average the sessions are going to be about 2.5 hours. You know, if your time in game is usually around 1.5, it's going to be 2.5, 2.75, somewhere around there. But we found that to be a very interesting metric in terms of the longevity of titles. And you can anecdotally, you can look at games like Skyrim. Gosh, all of us know what Skyrim is. How has that game stayed relevant for almost 2 decades? I think at this point.
There hasn't been another one.
There hasn't been another one, but I would bet you that when another Elder Scrolls game comes out, I mean, Elder Scrolls Online has come out, right? Yeah. And you look at it, and that game is still relevant because of modding. Like Roblox is relevant because of modding. Fortnite was absolutely relevant beforehand, but you know, it continues to still have the same longevity. And that sort of ownership that players have, even with things like Panda Express, right? Like players want to engage in games the way that they want. If they get that, they play longer, they're bigger fans, they're more engaged, they have those sort of lean-in moments. I think Strauss was talking about that yesterday, this sort of lean-in moment where they're like, this is a game that I can play forever. And you want to do that as much as possible. And I think UGC really kind of brings that to the forefront. Sorry.
And just to be clear that I don't hate all CEOs, Strauss is about the most enlightened CEO I've ever seen about UGC. In 2023, there was a company called CFX, and I think they were the 5M guys. They created these mod tools for users in Grand Theft Auto Online, and you could modify your car. I mean, you could modify anything, but people were tricking out their cars in GTA Online, and they were selling this stuff. So they were making money from it. And Rockstar, who is notoriously impossible to deal with for anybody, they don't talk to anybody, they hate everybody, not invented here. They looked at this thing and they go, I'm sure the same metrics you said, oh my God, everybody who's modding and playing with the modded items is playing longer and spending more money. So they went to the studio and said, cease and desist or sell to us for $4 million. And oh, by the way, we'll hire all of you. So we give you $4 million, and there were literally like 5 of them. So you're each going to be pretty wealthy, and then we're going to give you a job at a very high wage to keep this up. And they brought it in-house. And they didn't actually launch it for another 1.5 years, I think. It took them 1.5 years because Rockstar, they wanted to make sure they control everything. But instead of beating them up and try modding a Nintendo product, right? And again, I don't think Nintendo's dumb at all, but they're super protective of their IP. You can't do it. They'll shut you down. But Rockstar goes, bring that in. So I can't wait to see GTA Online after GTA 6 launches, because it's a real thing. And you know, the way that we all grew up, I mean, you guys are younger than me, but thinking about cameras having film in them. And so if you took a picture, it costs $1 to develop, and you were really careful, where your kids take 3,000 selfies every half hour. You know, this is how kids are being raised now to mod content. They're just fearless, and they think they can do anything. And I mean, it's the age of TikTok for video, of YouTube for music.
Filters. Putting filters on.
Yeah, they can do anything. So again, I'm with you guys. Can you guys give any examples of things that you find particularly encouraging about the future? Anything you're seeing that just makes you smile, that, you know, I can't believe somebody used our product or was in our network and did that?
I mean, go ahead.
You go.
You go first.
Then I'll go. No, you go.
All right.
It's okay.
I mean, I love this question because this has been my answer for a long time, but the future is modding. It is UGC, absolutely. Like, and it's been that way for years. I mean, you look in the industry, you look at a game like League of Legends. What did that spawn from? It spawned from a Warcraft 3 mod. What did PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds come from? That was an Arma mod. Like, it just continues over and over and over. These new gameplay mechanics, new designs, like the cutting edge of the industry is always in modding. Roblox now, my God, like it is so incredible to watch these young people who are, 18 to 21 years old suddenly become millionaires almost overnight because of folks like Chartis, where it's like, hey, we're going to spend money on you. We're going to bring these sort of brand relationships in and help drive new economies. I mean, at Overwolf, we're trying to also, help create that creator economy and get additional buy-in from the rest of the industry, be like, hey, everyone should mod their games. I think one of the things that we can do as an industry is start to set up additional guardrails on these games in terms of like, hey, what does modding look like? We don't want to see an IP infringing thing, Thomas the Tank Engine in our Mario game, right? Okay, set some guardrails on it. Figure out how you want that UGC to be created in your game, and then hire somebody like Overwolf, or have a platform like Overwolf that will help you deliver that content to the player, because the player just wants to play the game that they want to play it.
Used all of our time, but you can answer it.
Sorry.
I'll do it quick. What I'm really passionate about is merging entertainment and the UGC space. I'm not going to go on a rant about it, but I'm sure you've picked up on all the Hollywood studios, buying the TV and film rights for all of these games, which is really, really exciting. I really believe like the next Marvel will come from Roblox or Fortnite, but you got to act fast and you got to look outside of the platform too. We've seen certain IPs getting bought, but then we've seen those games kind of decline, and it takes how many years to create that film, So what's really exciting to me is that, and this is something we're working on, I can't mention what we're doing, but so I shouldn't have said anything at all. But
Secrets.
but looking at IPs that are huge on these UGC platforms, but they also have a presence on socials, and it's becoming a cultural phenomenon, and then being able to turn that around, take that outside of the platforms, start licensing those IPs into products and TV and film. I think that is something that's really, really exciting. What's going to come out of these platforms and these creators. Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I hear there's free alcohol wherever the food was. So. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.